Welcome back to episode 27 of the Uncleanables Podcast, and today's topic is going to be cash. Now, all you little benefit scroungers love this topic.
And thieves.
Yeah, you're thieving bastards, from thieving from the government, it's naughty, not declaring your cash. But we have both this week had...
benefited from tax evasion.
Yeah. Well, we've both had conversations with customers or like experienced the upsides and downsides of cash. And I actually had a conversation with Jake about cash this week as well, funny enough.
Yeah?
Yeah, and how I always like to have a little cushion of cash sitting at home in case like an unexpected bill comes up. Yeah, of course,
yeah. And you can pay it then and there, can't you?
Yeah, or...
3 for 100, like the pressure washer goes bang.
Or you can throw it into the account if
you don't need it.
Yeah, if something big comes up.
Totally makes sense.
So like my catch-22 with cash is I like to pay for everything from the business through the business account, so that at the end of the year, all I've got to do is show my accountant my bank statement and say, look, this is money in and money out, and I've got X amount of cash at home. Because I don't tax evade.
Yeah. I don't either.
No, me neither.
Mate, why are you looking at me like that for? Anyway, yeah, so go on, yeah. So you leave it and then you run it in the bank? Yeah, so, and then what I'll do is like, so for example, if I've got like a big pile of cash, I've always got something on my to-do list that I want to buy anyway, so my next one is I'm going to save my cash up and then hopefully pay for a van mounted pressure washer. So you would go in there and pay with it with cash? No, I'd put it in the bank. And then do a transfer? And then pay on the card. So if you, let's say you had your emergency fund, would there ever be a scenario when you would like something would go wrong and you'd go and get it in cash and then ask for a receipt?
I have those. My hypo supplier always wants cash.
Yeah.
So he actually hasn't invoiced me yet for any of the hypo I've bought from him, but
I'm the tax dodger. It's cool, bruv. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's got nothing to do with me. If
surely
he don't want to invoice me, I'll put it down on my account, so I've paid it.
No, I hear you.
If they call me up and say we need an invoice, I'll get on his case.
Do you know what? I don't know why, but like, it's difficult for me as well, because obviously like, I come from a family of market traders as well.
Which is all cash, isn't it?
Mate, it's all cash. I mean, only recently they've got a card machine, but it's like...
Yeah, well, you used to be able to do...
No, never. It was all cash. It was all cash, and it's interesting take because, mate, I see comments online, and like, mate, Facebook is the absolute worst. Sorry, mate, I've just got a text message. It's the absolute worst online because like someone will say, I don't know, someone will be like, put a picture up of a job, or someone will ask for like any weekend jobs cash in hand, yeah? Like, bearing in mind, he might be a 16-year-old boy or a 15-year-old boy, right? Which is totally, in my eyes, acceptable. Give him a bit of cash, man. Like, what's he going to end up at the end of the weekend?
Yeah.
Like 80 quid?
He's hardly stealing money from the government, is he?
So anyway, like, and the absolute slaughter they get is insane. Like, people are like, oh, mate, I should dob you in and all the rest of it, tax dodging, you're the reason this country's going down the pan. Think, yeah, mate, what? Some geezer not paying £300 in tax. It's not the bank's fucking pulling everyone's pants down, is it? But yeah, so it's got this fucking horrible stigma. Real horrible stigma. And like, you can even see it, you might get it, I get it all the time. See it in customers' faces, they're like, do you want cash or do you want a bank transfer? And I say, do you know what, mate? The ball is totally in your court. I'm completely happy. And in 9 times out of 10, they give you cash.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but maybe they want to get rid of it or whatever.
Well, I found that I say to people, if you've got to go out and withdraw it, I say don't waste your time. Just send me a transfer. If you've got it at home, you want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'll take it off your hands. Yeah, totally.
But most of them go out their way to withdraw it because they think we want it in cash. But people don't understand. Like, do you know why you want cash jobs?
Do I know why?
Yeah, like where the whole thing comes from, like. Because like having cash or a transfer for you at the moment doesn't really make a hell of a lot of difference.
From my understanding, like if I was to buy materials or like get rid of materials by cash, I won't pay any VAT.
Yeah, but you don't pay VAT at the moment.
No, but exactly. That's why I have to pay VAT when I go to them places.
No, but you can't claim it back.
This is
because
exactly
you're not VAT registered.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh right.
Are you following me?
Yeah.
So I'll go to a big £1 million company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say I'll buy 4,000 screws or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, some of them turn around and go, is it cash or card? You go, cash, mate. And he goes, I can take the VAT off.
Do they?
Yeah.
I've never been asked that.
Yeah, but you're just too fucking honest, mate. They don't trust you. Like because you go in there showing everyone your tax return saying,
I went into Wix earlier and they said, have you got a Wix trade card?
Yeah.
Which I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I haven't. How do I get one? Because you get 10% discount.
Oh yeah, I think Wick should do. I went into Screwfix and they said you got a Screwfix account. I said, what do you offer me? And they went free tea and coffee. I said, keep it, mate.
I'm not wasting my time signing.
Do you know what I mean? What
B&Q trade points pretty good.
I get 10% off in B&Q.
Yeah.
They do giant deals as well.
You have to spend more than £500 a month, haven't you?
Yeah.
To get the 10%.
I find that quite easy to do though, because obviously in my job. But they also, it compounds as well. So if they have an offer on kitchens,
you
get your 10% plus maybe a 15. So you're looking at, what's that? 10 plus 15%. That's half price kitchens. But anyway, going back to
can they invoice you for the full amount though before the discount? Because then you can charge the customer.
And if you go in there and pay cash, they'll do it even cheaper.
Yeah, I've never been told if I pay cash or knock the VAT off. But
yeah, like listen, I'm not saying, and I'm not going to fucking dob anyone in either. Greg's down here for that.
I'm not the whole cash thing is like obviously to do with the VAT, isn't it? Like that's the main. So like the idea is if you're patio installer and the jobs are like 8-9 grand,
yeah,
and they pay bank transfer, it's 8-9 grand plus VAT,
yeah,
which is a lot of money because it's 20%.
Yeah,
so it's at least £1,500.
Yeah, I get that. But see, this doesn't make sense to me, right? Because being now in this industry and working out how materials works, right? Unless they have a yard that is giant, and I mean like you get lost in it, you can't lose the materials.
No, but what I'm saying is for us doing 75 quid call out,
yeah,
being paid cash, you're saving 9 quid.
Yeah.
Like, I know 9 quid every day is going to add up.
Well, yeah, if you do 3 a day for like 4 months, yeah.
But it's like, then people act like they're saving you like the world.
Oh,
they're acting like you can pay your mortgage this month if they give you cash.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like, it's not really like I probably lost 9 quid in my van.
Yeah, I'll see.
Do you know what I mean?
I think
I haven't, but do you know what I mean? It's like for us, we're on the smaller end of the scale. Like when you start, or they go, you've given them a quote for 200 quid, and they go, "Have you got cash price?" I'm like, "Yeah, that is my cash. You can pay cash, you can pay card, you can swap me for 200 quid's worth of bananas if you want, but that's the price because."
Yeah. Totally.
Like, I'm not VAT registered first and foremost, so it doesn't include VAT, so I can't knock off the VAT for cash. Secondly, like, I'm not a multi-million pound company, so that £200 goes in my account and pays for, like, the sand or what you sand it, chemical, petrol for the pressure washer, and then the rest goes towards paying the bills. Yeah. You know, it's not like it's going in my back pocket.
That's what I think a lot of people,
they don't understand like the depths of business, and it's not until and you see this a lot, and you still get people that do our job, but they do it as more of like a side hustle, so the money does go in their pocket.
Yeah, totally.
Because they'll have a normal job during the week, and then at the weekend they'll clean a couple of driveways. And like 400 quid for a driveway for them is like...
Well, it's bonus, isn't it?
It's like 350 quid because they've all paid for fuel in the pressure washer, which they own, and, you know, a bit of hypo, which they've got. Yeah, totally. If they're doing that, like most of the part-timers don't even hypo. And then like the sand, 3 or 4 bags of sand.
I don't hypo.
Yeah, but you're not a pressure washing company.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I know what you mean. There was an interesting bloke I see on Facebook. So these videos come up, right? These like TikTok videos. I don't have TikTok, but I watch them on Facebook. And it was there's a big trend going around now. How much would you charge? Yeah. And it's mainly like landscapers cutting grass. They're pretty cool, right?
And they tell you the price at the end.
Yeah, mate, people pile in, don't they? Yeah. I wouldn't. If anyone pays more than $50 for that, they're a scumbag and all this shit. And everyone. And this guy was good as gold, and he chirped in and he said if it was like a first cut, that's 125. Yeah. He went, it's his tools, his materials. And he went, someone jumped on him and he says, no. He went, that's ridiculous. And he went, yeah, but listen. He went, you're doing it for beer money. He went, I'm running a business. Yeah. He went, there's always going to be a bottom feeder in life. Yeah. I thought, bro, shut him down.
You know what? Right, and I absolutely love this analogy when people talk about pricing, right? So you go to a customer, you give them a quote. The quote's 400 quid, and they go, oh bloody hell, you know, that's far too expensive. This, that, and the other. And obviously, it never works out this way because they don't talk to you after they've said, no, you're bloody too expensive. But you say to them, not a problem. I'll come and do the job for you. Like, if you think I'm earning too much money out of that, I'll come and do the job for you. But you've got to supply everything else. Oh yeah, brilliant, no worries. Okay, so I need the sand to re-sand your block paving, I need the hypo. Right, that's it's 30 quid in sand and 40 quid in hypo.
But in 2 different stores you've got to go. Nose. It's actually cheap, but then you've got to drive to different places. No,
right. So then they go, right, cool, right. I've done 70 quid, right. So that's just 330 quid still going to you. No chance. Oh no. Hang on. I need you to provide the pressure washer. Well, I don't own a pressure washer. Well, why don't you hire one?
Yeah.
150 quid for the day.
Yeah.
All right, you hire one, 150 quid for a day. So that leaves you 180 quid after.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Right. It doesn't plug into the kitchen tap, the garden tap, so you need to buy a wheelie bin or something to store water in. Well, I haven't got one of them. Well, no worries, I can get you one of them, 30 quid. Cool. Another 30 quid off, so we're 150 left. You go, right, okay, cool, right, now I've got everything that I need to do it, right. How long is it going to take? Probably 4 hours. 150 quid for 4 hours work? No way, that's like nearly 50 quid an hour. Well, it's not, is it? It's like nearly 40 quid an hour. I'm not paying that. Oh, all right, no worries. I'll do 2 hours work for you. I'll get it half done, you can finish it off. Well, I don't want to work it.
Exactly, yeah.
You go, well, there's no money left.
Yeah, or I can train you how to do it, but my time costs money in bits and pieces. Mate, when you break it down, it's interesting.
Mental.
It is.
And like I say, that's what people forget, the bit where you've had to buy $4,000 machine.
Yeah.
Or you've had to do 100 driveways beforehand to be able to. So like everyone, like in our membership group, everyone says to me, fucking hell, how'd you do so quickly? Like that job we done. That job's 220 square metres.
The one we done?
The block paving. And we done the patio and we were finished at 1 on that job.
Yeah, that was a big old job. And the water pressure was awful.
We had to wait for the water bin to fill up 8 times.
I think we waited more times than what we was actually operating.
And I know people that take 2 days to do that job. And we were done in half a day. But what people don't understand,
18 baby.
I've done that job 3 times, so I know the most efficient way to do it. I also have done 100 driveways in the last 12 months that I know the best and most efficient way to do a driveway.
Yeah, you're looking at drainage and all them bits and pieces. Yeah.
So,
mate, it's totally.
It's best case scenario, that one, because I've done it 3 times before, so I literally know what to expect and nothing's changed. But people forget all of that. And they go, well, you're earning 400 quid off that job. And it's like, I'm not really.
Yeah, I'm
earning 40 quid an hour, when you break it down.
Strong money though, isn't it?
Well, it is. But then when you remove your tax off of that.
Yeah, you've got to take everything out of consideration. You went and bought the van and bits and pieces.
Yeah, well, I think I've said this before on the podcast that my business, once you add everything up, costs me £187 a day, and that's if I do 0 work. If I didn't leave the house, I would still have to pay £187 a day.
That's nearly £1,000 a week, isn't it?
It's about £3,000 a month, just short of £3,000 a month. Just to pay the bills that come regardless. If that doesn't include
a stone chip on the windscreen. Yeah,
doesn't include like buying materials, buying stock, chemicals, and all that. That's just the running of the business.
Let's get back on the cash, mate. Let's get back on the cash.
Yeah.
Because I sat there and I was thinking while we was talking just now. I sat there. Everyone bashes all trades and that. Yeah. When was the last time you went into a Turkish barber and there wasn't a sign on the till that said cash only?
My Turkish barber was only cash.
Mate,
my barber,
mine as well. And like every one I ever popped, I'm not saying they're all the same, but they are. Because every one I've ever gone in is cash only.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's that as well. And you think, all right, we'll bash these fellas then. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't know, do they? Because they're scared.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Mate, how many have you got in your town?
Well, in Hockley, which is, bearing in mind, there's about 12 shops. In Hockley, there's 4 or 3.
30% of the high street.
Yeah. There's a few more shops than that, but there's a lot. Yeah,
same as Whitford.
And it's a small little village.
Yeah. But yeah, it's stuff like that is interesting about the cash thing. Because I just think it makes the world go round as well.
Yeah, well, there was that other thing in there, wasn't there? Everyone's seen it on social media, like 50 quid in cash.
Oh, the barber buys the cake and then the cake buys
it stays as 50 quid in cash as it goes through. But if you paid 50 quid on your card and it's like 80 transactions, that 50 quid's disappeared in fees to someone else.
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. But the reason I thought about cash being today's topic is because I had a customer who gave me a £50 note, and he come out and he said, you can have like, it was like shrapnel. It weren't really shrapnel. It was 25 quid his bill, and it was 20 quid, and then like two £2 coins and a £1 coin. He was like, you can have this. Or
Did you just slap it in the air?
Yeah, I said, fuck, get that out of my face. Disrespect me with that. Where's my £5 note?
I've got a funny one for you in a minute.
And he said, you can have this, or I can pay you for 2 if you want the 50. I said, I don't mind, mate. It's no odds to me. And I said, what I do, like, I don't want the 50s, but I give them to my wife so that she can spend them. And like, she thinks
she's over the moon, mate.
She thinks I've given her loads of money, but I don't really want them.
Yeah.
And like, it's a hassle, isn't it, to get.
So have you declared that then before you give it to your wife, mate?
No. So that's a tax write-off, isn't it?
Why is it a donation?
No, it's a charity, isn't it?
Oh, you could swing it the other way and do extortion.
Yeah. It's like my fees that you've got to pay to be married. It's like membership fees. So
I can totally agree if she charges you.
But we was talking about his cash, and he was saying like, I don't like, his son's an electrician, and he said he got the 50s from him because he was like, he called up his dad.
Mate.
Yeah, like, he wiped his arse with the 50s.
Blows his nose off his head.
Yeah, throws them away. But he was like, he called his dad, he was like, do you want these 50s? I don't want them, no one wants them. Right? And he was saying, I see a video, McDonald's refused to serve someone because they were paying with a 50, wouldn't take it off him. And he was saying like, you can't spend them anywhere anymore. So he used to have a paving company, and
used to bury him.
He had a lot of cash, and he said like back in the day, like he bought a caravan, 26 grand in cash, cars. He had a new car every 3 years, paid cash to get rid of this cash, and then like the world went mental, and now you can't give more than 5 grand to a car company in cash. No one wants cash, like the bigger companies. They rather you pay in like card. All the self-service tills at Tesco's are card only.
Card, didn't they? Yeah.
You got to like queue up with all the old people paying cash. And like,
even when I bought my watch, I said to him, can I do like half and half, mate? Or can I do like all cash? He went, we can't take anything over 3,500 quid in cash.
Yeah.
I was like, but mate, it's straight money. I'm buying like, you can write me a receipt, guys. Like, I'm not going to hide this. Do you know what I mean? No, I can't do it.
I don't know why it matters. I guess it's from a security point of view, isn't it? They don't want
what, is it going down the bank?
Yeah, they don't want to be carrying cash, transporting it to the bank.
Or they've
got to pay for a company to come and collect it, which obviously comes out of their profit.
Yeah.
Whereas if you pay card, they've just got to pay the card fees. It's probably not much less than it costs to get transport, but
yeah, my mum's one with the market. It's like I think it's like 3 or 4%. Mate, it's strong.
Yeah. You pay more when you're not.
It's one of them Zettel things.
So yeah. So if you've got, so I've got Zettel. I don't think it's much as 3 or 4%. I'll pay for 200 quid. I'll pay about £5.
Oh, that might be roughly it then. Yeah, I still think that's strong.
1.5% or something.
I still think that's strong.
It is strong compared, but the alternative is if you've got like a hard standing machine, or they do it mobile now, but you pay like 30 quid a month, but you only pay 0.6% or something. So that works out better if you're taking 10 grand a month.
Yeah, of course it
does.
But
for me, I'll take about 200 quid a month just from customers that rather pay card. Yeah, so it's not worth me paying the 30 quid a month for the lower amount, but it might be worth for your mum.
Yeah.
If she's doing that, you can do it directly through Barclays or.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. But yeah, cash is an interesting one. I think. I mean, it does get to a point when it just sits there and it's like, almost, what do you do with it?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah,
because the last thing I want to do is run it down the bank. That's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, it can be really difficult for what you can do with cash, which is why I do try to get as much in the account as possible, because it is no good to you really in cash.
And also as well, like
something.
Listen, I know, like, imagine that one of our 50 viewers was fucking HMRC, but like, apart from living on cash. Imagine, apart from actually...
Imagine we don't even make 100 subs, we get shut down.
Imagine, apart from like living on cash, are you personally like going to go get your hair cut? And all the rest of it, like you ain't going to go and buy materials with it, are you?
No, it's stupid to buy materials.
You'd be an idiot to do that. You'd be an idiot to pay yourself in cash.
It's like an additional logistical nightmare to do your accounts, because you've got then all your cash receipts as well as all your bank receipts, which just adds another another layer to the job. And if you lose a cash receipt, there's no.
I see, it's gone.
Yeah. You can't then claim it, because you can't just say, "Oh, I paid for that in cash, but I've lost the receipt."
Yeah, totally.
That don't fly. So that's why I don't like doing it. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I buy my lunch with cash and
of course you do.
Haircut. Like
all the silly little bits, in it.
If my daughter wants something, like needs clothes or whatever, and just pay cash.
Yeah, totally. I'd just save it up and take it as euros. I'd just go down to the post office.
Yeah,
and euros.
you can do that. You can, like, I'm saying, like, there's a few travel agents on the high street still that they take cash, so you can go on holiday. I was saying to my customer, I was like, "What good's a holiday to you, though?"
In terms of what?
Well, you save up all the cash.
Yeah.
Just to spend it on holiday.
This is what I mean. You can't actually do anything productive with that money.
No. It's like, no, it's no good to you.
It's absolutely pointless.
You almost like you want to start dealing drugs with it or something, actually make it work for you.
Yeah, but then even that, like, have you ever seen these videos where these people get like fucking not attacked, but like arrested with bundles? Like bundles of 10 grands, not grands, and they like tipping them out, and there's like there must be about 150 quid on the table, and it's like, geezer, what really can you do with that?
No, nothing.
Do you know what I mean? That's why they'll wear Moncler and that.
Paying cash is gone.
Yeah, totally.
Clothes, isn't it? Clothes.
It's like £1,500 Moncler. It's like, all right, mate, but how many are you going to have? 3 or 4? Well, there's over a tenner gone.
The trouble is, right, you could...
That's bad maths. It's not a tenner.
Let's say the next section of the podcast, we're going to work out how to money launder. Get the whiteboard out. No, you could effectively...
I heard of a very good way of money laundering.
Go on.
Do you want it?
Yeah.
Apparently,
seeing as you've already interrupted.
Apparently, it was tried. Oh yeah, sorry, Suzanne. So apparently, it was tried and tested, and he bought I think it was a man or a woman. I can't remember. Bought a burger van.
Mm-hmm.
The burger van was obviously normal outside building sites and all the rest of it. And I know it's going to sound silly. I think it was about 25 years ago, 30 years ago. All they'd done was just kept printing, egg roll, sausage roll, bacon roll. Oh, just constantly.
Yeah.
Obviously, they weren't serving them, but who were they to know? Unless you sat outside with a pair of binoculars, you'd never know. Just make sure you're buying the bacon and the sausages to accommodate it.
Yeah, that's if you're trying to get rid of dirty money, though.
Yeah.
Like,
what else is
the money we're earning is not dirty, is it?
Well, what are you talking? That's not money laundering, is it? That's called tax avoidance.
Yeah, but like, how do you get that cash to work for you into a position where you can spend it? That would be money laundering.
Oh, I see.
Laundering cash. You're not declaring it, but then you want to put it into a position where you can either invest it or spend it personally. Obviously, bar the obvious, clothes, high street shops.
Yeah,
we can't buy jewellery. Can't buy £3,500 of jewellery, £5,000 a car. But
it's actually a very clever way the way they've done it. They've actually made it like cash out.
Yeah.
Like, they've actually outed it.
And the trouble is, right, what you could, we'd probably be all right because of the values, but if you had 50 grand in cash you wanted to try and get rid of, you could go and buy 10 cars, but as long as you weren't earning any more money, you could split that over the course of maybe 2 years or whatever. Like, buy a £5,000 car, drive it for a month, sell it, because once you sell a personal item, you can then put it in the bank and say, well, I sold the car. You've got proof of selling the car.
Yeah.
You don't need the proof of buying the car. Proof you owned it and proof you sold it.
Yeah.
And then you go and buy a new car.
Yeah, but you can't buy a new car.
You can buy £5,000 worth of car.
Oh, up to £5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but then you've got.
But you can buy a car from a private person for 50 grand.
Yeah, that's if he wants it.
Yeah.
I reckon even that's.
Then it's his problem.
Well, yeah, of course.
But he can pay it into the bank because he's got proof of ownership of the car and he's got proof of selling the car.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, yeah, you could do that.
For him, it's not an issue. But I think £50,000 car, £50,000 in the bank, they're going to ask him questions, and all it needs is where do you get £50,000 from? Because you didn't pay it from your bank account.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. And if they really wanted to rumble you, they'd be like, "Why are you chopping and changing cars every few months?"
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's obvious because you've got 10 transactions in the course of a year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll be like,
it's a bit more obvious. Like, and that's the only way that you could get rid of it. But then you're running up multiple times. It's like if every time you do it becomes a little bit more obvious, doesn't it?
Do you know what it almost feels like? Cash. Do you know what it almost feels like to me? It feels like the black market. Yeah,
it's scary, isn't it?
it feels like, when someone like steals a Rolex or someone steals a piece of art.
Yeah.
So let's say, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, like comparing it, but let's say someone stole a painting, yeah? Once obviously the painting is going to be everywhere, yeah? Everyone knows about cash, everyone knows about dirty cash and money laundering, everyone knows about this painting, right? Mm-hmm. You can have it, you can pay through the nose for it, but you can never show anyone.
Yeah, that's it.
That's exactly, it can change hands. Yeah. Like, I'll give you 50 grand in dirty money, or unregistered cash or whatever, all the rest of it. You can have it and you can show people in your house, but you can never show the world.
You can never tell anyone.
You can never like publicise it.
Because they'll take it off you as well.
Yeah.
You're not allowed stolen goods. So even if you paid for it, even if you didn't know it was stolen.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Like when people buy stolen cars on different plates, and the VINs match up, and when the police come and like take it, sorry mate.
Oh, mate, imagine
you get no compensation, nothing.
Imagine you're just waxing your brand new car, and the old bill just scoop it up off your driveway. You're not even finished.
Just made it look nice for the old owners
for the crusher
when they get it back.
Oh, raging.
But yeah, it's a tough one, man.
I just think don't let it run away with you. I think just have a couple. I'd say probably aim to have a tenner in cash, 10 grand.
I think it's a bit too much, to be fair.
No, it is a lot, but that's a nice buffer. Then that's a nice cushion. Like if you go out and down just praying your van, you've always got a tenner to fall back on. Or if you want to go mental, like listen, let's change the bathroom or the plumber or the boiler goes bang.
Yeah.
It's getting out of jail money, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think anything over that is just like people with hundreds of thousands in the safe. I just think it's almost
a bit mental, isn't it?
I just think that's like, geez, one house fire and you're gone.
And then I guess it depends on like what you're doing. So if you cleaned like 4 roofs a week,
yeah,
right. So say your average roof cleans a grand, and say even 1 in 3 people paid you in cash.
Yeah.
So on average, you'll be looking at like £1,250 in cash a week.
Yeah.
Right? That's £5 grand a month in cash, and that runs up quick. Like if you've got no projects to do at home, or
it's 60 grand a year.
What are you going to do with it?
Well, yeah, put it in the bank.
You're going to have to, aren't you?
Oh yeah, totally.
I was sit there with 60 grand in you.
I mean,
could do, so say someone gets wind of that and then knocking on your door, mate, late at night with a bally on.
Yeah, it's like 6 of that and half a dozen of the other. I'm not worried about someone doing that to me. I'm just more worried about.
I get worried about getting to fucking 1,250 quid a week in cash first, and then we'll worry about people taking it.
Yeah, 1,250 a week in cash would be nice, but it's more the point that like, would you do with it after?
Yeah, that's it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think like you think, oh yeah, I'll save up £5 grand. I'll get myself I'll get yourself a nice pressure washer and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but then you want to put it through.
You want to put it through the books, man. What's the point?
Nick the old tax reduction on it. But yeah, I mean, what can you do, man? What I'd like to know is in the comments if what do they do with their cash?
Yeah.
What do you guys do with your cash?
What do you do?
Without incriminating yourself, feel free to message us privately and we'll talk about it on the next episode or something. Or if your real bollocks are big, then just put it in the comments.
Raver's going to be like fucking packet brasses, isn't he? That's what Raver's going to be. I know what Raver's going to say before he even types it.
I've been chatting to Adam, Raver, and he loves getting pissed in his hot tub. Every time I talk to him, he's on the vodka in his hot tub.
He stops every night, 2 hours worth of booze, nothing, straight home. No, it'd just be interesting to know what people do, because people have projects as well, don't they?
Yeah.
But some people have like hobbies and projects they do, or bits and pieces.
I was just talking to Jake. He wants to buy a house this year, so all of his cash he's going in the bank for the build up to that. But he's set up a little bit differently to me, so he's not a limited company, I don't think, if I remember correctly.
It's interesting because
situation.
Your line of work, you never go inside people's houses. Yeah, but I do.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you you might chat to someone and like kind of get to know them over the phone, for some reason, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, they'll be like, oh, do you want to pop over and just have a little look at this? And you go, yeah, no worries at all, right? And let's say they're a baker, and you go in this fucking palace, mate, and you go, yeah, you ain't putting that cash through, big man, are you? Let's be honest.
But this is how do they how do they get the mortgage if they're not putting the cash through?
No, it's not. I don't think it's so much that. Obviously, there is some straight money in it. Don't get me wrong. But you know, like when you chat to someone on the phone and that, like yeah, and all the rest of it, and then you go in there and you think, geez, do you know what I mean? Like marble floor throughout and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got clients that pay me cash, and like I do like a couple of their windows inside, and they'll go. I've just got to go get your money. They'll go upstairs.
Yeah.
I think
they've got bundles.
You've got to save somewhere.
Yeah, they've got bundles.
You're not getting out your purse or your wallet, like just giving me like 30 quid. Like, it's going upstairs to the safe to withdraw the cash.
It's an interesting one.
I've got a client who owns a fish and chip shop as well, so he gets a lot of cash.
See, industries like that, I just think to myself, I know it's going to sound silly, but realistically, not everyone can go down the bank. Like, no. Do you know what I mean?
And he needs cash because he's got to stock the till.
Float for the till and things like that. Yeah, like not every industry can run and do it.
In change, like as a backup, because you've got to have, say, 5-6 bags of pound coins to restock the till. That's 100 quid, isn't it?
And do you know what? You can't tell me these bookies like William Hill ain't like siphoning the tills.
Oh, mate, 100%. Well, they get you payout in cash, don't you, if you win?
Mate, everything about it.
And like some of them, someone wins 16 grand.
Yeah.
They've got to cough it up, ain't they?
Yeah.
They've got to pay it. They'll
Look
go
at
to the safe.
Mate, look at casinos. They're the best ever.
Yeah.
Everything's cash related.
Fucking mega, mate. But let's diverse a little bit. Divulge. Don't know. What am I trying to say?
Digress.
Let's move.
Change subject.
Let's move on. Yeah.
Let's just say move on, mate.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, let's move on. What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
What's happened to you this week? Anything interesting?
No, I'm waiting for the weather to improve because we've got a couple of outdoor jobs.
See, right, that's a good topic, right? Because you're, like you just said,
That's as far as I can get in a conversation, and then Ryan takes over.
I'm trying to fucking sort out a topic, innit?
Go on, what you got?
Right, so you're saying about you've got quite a few jobs waiting for better weather.
Yes.
I'm majority outside.
Yes.
And my work, like, not that I just want to like show off, but I am so fucking busy.
Yes.
I cannot afford the sky to rain too heavily at the moment.
Yeah.
I've been incredibly lucky this week.
If you've been going out working outdoors every day, you must be missing it by milliseconds.
Yeah, no, I have been.
Because it's been every half hour I look out the window, it's raining.
But yeah, it's been like I've been outside in the morning. I've been starting at 7:30. I've been looking up and it's like grey, horrible sky, and I'm like
threatening.
And then it started like real light spitting.
Yeah.
And I've sort of thought, watch one of my customers say something, but they're gonna get a roundhouse to their face.
No, you're right though. You can do it in the rain, can't you?
Yeah, like so. There's no. So if it rains, the rainwater is almost pure. It's the wind that carries all the dust, which makes your windows dirty. Rainwater don't make your windows dirty, but people don't know that.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously, it's like a respect thing, isn't it? Like, no one wants to pay to have their windows clean when it's pissing down.
It's like paying to have your car washed in the rain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It don't make sense, and you feel a bit bad taking people's money. But I've got a couple of clients that, like commercial clients, they get their windows cleaned on the day that they're due, come rain or shine, snow or sleet, it gets carried out because.
Makes sense. Well, you got to carry on, ain't you?
Yeah, it makes no
totally.
odds to them.
Yeah, so that's the weather. Other than that, not really a lot. Booked in a couple of jobs.
Have you been getting busier though?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Because mine's gone parabolic in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks.
I think it's the splitting weather, mate. I think it's the weather. What, splitting weather?
No, fucking interrupted.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm going to get a button. I think I'm actually going to get a button. And we can both use it, because we both do it. We both interrupt each other. But
I was agreeing with you.
We should get a button, right? And then we get like a little scoreboard tally. And like when we interrupt, we're going to slap it. And then like we'll get a score. And then whoever wins at the end, whoever's interrupted the least. We'll do like at the end of the season. Not that there is an end of the season, but when I upload...
When one of us dies...
When I upload the podcast, it asks me what season we're on.
Oh, right, okay.
So I always say season 1, episode whatever.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So at the end of the season, whenever that is, we'll do like a trophy for whoever interrupted the least. I can't remember what I was saying now, you bitch.
You said you've gone parabolic, and I said I think it's a split in the weather, because everyone goes outside after like the lull of winter. Yeah,
I mean, this time of year for me is obviously going to be picking up because people want to start spending time outside, so they want their patios done, conservatories cleaned, things like that. Like, I haven't had any new window. I've had like 2 new window cleaning customers in the last month, but I don't really market for window cleaning customers. But the driveways and patios is like
shot through the
blown up.
Really?
Yeah, and like with my pressure washer doing that weird fucking
bouncing,
it's not good. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to explode on the job.
I am as well, to be honest with you. I am as well. It'd be interesting to see what sort of lifespan they have, and if anyone's watching that does pressure washing, let us know how old your oldest machine was or is.
So some people have got like real old machines.
But also, like, let us know how heavy your use is. Yeah, like you see these videos of chain tools from like the 70s.
Yeah,
people have still got them, but
I guess if you look after it.
Yeah, but fuck.
But like, if I get my machine fixed, there won't be anything wrong with it. But no one can work out what's wrong with it. That's the problem. But if I got that fixed now, we'd carry on going, wouldn't it? I've had it serviced every year. Yeah,
no, I get that. But servicing is like servicing. But then like servicing won't do seals and things like that.
No, but it's
don't forget piston rings wear out.
what's its broom, innit?
Triggers broom.
Triggers broom. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's the same machine, but how many parts have you had replaced?
I know what you mean.
Like, I just think parts replaced on mine.
It's probably started. It can be started upwards of like 30 times a day if you've got more than one job on.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't run slow, do they? They're fast running machines.
Yeah. They are built to. Like, I always think they're not built to be turned off though.
They're built to run continuously.
Yeah.
Oh, they're phenomenal machines. Don't get me wrong, but like it's had a hard life, isn't it?
Talking of pressure washers, I've started making my plan for my van-mounted pressure washer.
Have you?
Yeah.
That'd be a good old setup. That.
Yeah. So I've got to rejig the van a little bit because of where it's going to sit. So sit on the side door, but at the moment my window cleaning tank fills the whole bulkhead of the van. So I'm either going to have to buy 2 new tanks, which are like square. So one that will bolt onto the back of the pressure washer, and then one that will sit in the corner. But I think filling that up might be a bit of an awkward issue. So, or I keep the window cleaning one, but I flip it round so that the fill-up hole's by the door.
Yeah.
And then just have one behind the pressure washer, and then I'll have to move the shelving to the other side of the van, so I can still fit in the poles for the scaffold tower. But there's a lot of planning to it, and PWS, if you're watching this, I've emailed you twice, and you haven't emailed me back.
I rolled you a letter, you never rolled back.
No, I know they're busy. They're a busy company, but they make a lot of money with people doing it. But I would like an email back at some point.
Our t-shirts for the expo, mate. Do you reckon I can get hold of this company?
You got one job, mate. You better.
Mate, I've got one job.
Down there
if you see my email list
together.
Mate, it must have been 6 emails and at least 4 phone calls.
So just for some context there, we've got Uncleanables t-shirts and jumper polos and jumpers for the expo that we're going to wear, hopefully.
I don't think we're even going to get them, mate. Like, this is monstrosity.
Should only take them a day, really, once they've got the order.
It's getting them. I spoke to a geezer today. He went, hi there. I said, yeah. I said, is the lady that works there? She was like, no. And I went, can you get to give me a call, please? It's quite urgent. Okay. Do we have your name and number? I'm like, no, I'll give it to you now. Oh, okay, mate.
I said today, Wednesday. We've still got a week and a half. So.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not that, geez. I just want, if you're going to tell me you're going to call me back, fucking call me back, because otherwise it just does my brain in.
People don't want to make money anymore, I swear to God.
I thought it was just me.
No.
I thought I just stunk.
I really like Darren and the whole PWS team, but...
The whole pedo team?
Don't say that. We're not even monetised and we're getting demonetised already. You know, Jake said that to me about last episode where we were talking about terrorism.
Yeah, I don't know why
you're not even making money, but we're already getting demonetised. They're not even going to run ads on our fucking videos, so we're not getting paid for them. But yeah, you got to start emailing people back, man. It's like business 101. It's just like at least a phone call. Like it just blows my mind.
Who
I was impressed with actually, who's doing my van wrap. Not next week after. No, yeah.
Go on.
Not next week after. Greyers Graphics, based near Lakeside. They're quite a popular company around here.
Yeah.
They've been fucking spot on.
Really?
Yeah, and I've updated my yellow. So at the moment the yellow's much brighter than this. But I've gone more this colour, more golden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like it stands out a little bit more, especially on the white, more so on the black. I called them up and said, look, is it too late to amend it because it's getting laid in 2 weeks, and have they already printed it? No worries. I said, look, I appreciate there's a cost to... No, don't worry about it, we won't charge you.
Really?
Replied to all my emails, called me, went through it all.
Bang on.
Very, very, very impressed.
When they act like that, it's no wonder they're busy.
Yeah.
You can totally understand.
And they're a little bit more money than some of the other local firms.
Totally.
And I'm more than happy to pay that for that service. And this goes back to what we were talking about before. So we've got a mate who's a plasterer. So this goes back to what we were saying before. So we've both got a mate called Will who's a plasterer, and he haws himself out for work at 150, 200 a day, doesn't he? Yeah. And I was saying to Dan, he's a fucking spot on bloke, and he's a grafter.
Yeah.
And I said, he's not charging enough. And Dan said, well, no, there's a ceiling for plasterers. And I said, I just cannot agree with that. That if you make sure you're replying to your emails, replying to your texts, making sure you're not leaving houses messy, and obviously the work's good, I think you could charge even double that. I had a customer who started off as a plasterer, and his firm ended up doing they've done a lot of commercial render jobs and stuff like that in the end. But he's fucking minted. He's sold his house, he's gone travelling. That was 2 years ago, he hasn't come back yet.
No, listen, you probably can. I just don't, like, as an industry... See, the thing is with, like... This is going to sound probably pretty weird. The thing is with, like, general knowledge and building and pressure washing and bits and pieces, right, is your list of tools is great. Yeah, your list of tools is massive. Yeah, pressure washer, van, all the bits and pieces like that. Take the van out of it, but pressure washer, hoses and all of this sort of stuff, right? Same as when I do a little job, right? I know it looks little, but by the time you add up all the bits and pieces, it can actually add up, right? But with plastering, it's actually relatively straightforward. Like, I know people with the same tools when they qualified that 30 years ago. Yeah, and there's like, oh yeah, I had that in school, that trowel. And I'm like, is it still good? He went, yeah, well, it's a bit of metal, isn't it? That bends. But you can't get any better than that. They buy the same angle beads, bags of plaster, and water's free out the tap. And they might go through buckets, yeah?
Yeah, but it's a skill though, isn't it?
It's a skill, yeah?
Not about the
But what I mean is like, in terms of pricing, like, okay, you might go in and say, look, I can do 2 hits in a day, say, or like I can do that and that, or a small room. It's £250, right? Like, you know, definitely, it's only about 25 quid, 30 quid in materials. Yeah,
but it shouldn't matter because you're paying for the skill.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if Will Turner said, right, do you know what, fuck it, I'm at 400 quid a day now, right? I guarantee you he would be the dearest plasterer in this area. I guarantee you. The ceiling is, generally speaking, everyone works on about 200 quid a day. I promise you, mate. I promise you.
Brother.
Unless I'm completely wrong.
It's not, it don't matter if you could be bang on, but it's a mindset thing.
Oh, it is a mindset thing. But it's not.
Why shouldn't he charge?
No, it's not.
But why shouldn't he charge £400 for a job that everyone else is charging £250?
The industry set it, bruv. The industry set it.
Who's the industry?
Everyone collectively has set it.
Yeah, but what if I'm happy to pay 400 quid for Will, because I know he does a good job. He's been recommended to me. He turns up when he says he's going to turn up, and the time frame he's given me to do the job, he nails the job in that time frame. Why wouldn't I pay him 400 quid?
Because it'd be grossly overpriced.
Yeah, but I'm happy to pay it.
Well, you're a fucking idiot then, aren't you?
No, but like...
No, honestly, mate, it's like...
So...
Give me another industry. Pizza making.
No, pressure washing.
All right.
I charge £4 a square metre.
Right. Is there people out there charging 8?
I know people that charge 80p a square metre.
Right.
I know people that clean roofs for 400 quid.
You've got to go up, not down. You've got to go up, not down.
What do you mean?
Like, don't tell me people earning less. Tell me about people earning double what you're earning.
Yeah, Sillard.
Right.
Charge £8.50 a square metre for a play centre, 300 square metres.
Did he get it?
Accepted quote.
Has he done it?
Mate, there's people in like that. You done with me that gutter job, commercial gutter job in Brentwood.
Oh yeah, that was giant job.
Yeah, so I quoted that £8 a square metre, and we were the cheapest quote. There was a 12 and a 14.
Yeah. No, yeah, it can be. It can be.
But
then maybe
do you
you're
reckon
cheap.
those people aren't getting work?
No.
They've probably quoted it high because they're too busy.
Yeah, you could assume that, or you could assume they didn't want it and thought, just throw in a £14, he ain't going to accept it, but we don't want it anyway.
But like, say the job's 200 quid and he charges 400, he needs half as much work to make the same money.
Yeah.
So if he's double busy for a month every day for 4 weeks, and he goes, right, I'll double him the work. He's got 4 weeks to fill up 2 weeks worth of work.
Yeah.
If you've got, like all business, full stop, is you're marketing.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily, like one day you won't be doing the work.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be your job to bring in
the leads, yeah, yeah.
Right? So if you've got 100 leads a day, say, so grossly, overly exaggerate, 100 leads, you could get 100 leads a day. 100 leads a day, and you quote all of them at 400 quid, how many do you reckon you're going to close?
A good percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you might close more at 200 quid, but you've got to do
twice the work.
Twice the amount of work.
Mate, I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
If you've got one lead coming in a week, yeah, maybe doubling your price isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
But
all I'm saying is I believe that some industries have set their precedent and it just works for them because everyone does the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like cheap chicken and chips.
No, I know what you're saying, and like it's nice to see you're in your position now because I've gone through all of this.
Yeah.
I was arguing with. So I used to work with Kurt, whose mum had been in business since he was born. So he had more experience than me.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him, we can't charge that. We can't charge that. No one's going to pay that. Look, let me go on Google. I can find a photo booth for 150 quid. We were charging £500 a booth when we started. Upward, that was the cheapest quote. 6 months we were VAT registered because he knew how to bring in leads. He was a marketer. So it was just a numbers game. You know, we were doing all this marketing online, Facebook and wedding shows, and we were giving a better service. We looked better. We looked more presentable. We had like fancy booklets and, you know, branded polos. We weren't in jeans and t-shirts. You know, we looked the part and people were happy to pay the money. The same product, but different package.
Yeah, mate, I do agree with
Business 101. So you look like the iPhone does the same job as a Nokia 3310.
Yeah.
But why is the iPhone...
It's packaged different. I know exactly what you're saying.
It's the marketing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a ceiling in business.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's a good
The only ceiling you've got is the 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. It's just, I know exactly what you're saying. It's just that's what I was led to believe, and that's what I understood it for.
That's what people tell you.
Well, no, that's what I've seen. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've seen.
Yeah, but how many? You haven't seen it. You haven't started a plastering company.
No, but I've worked with a few of them.
Yeah, but they'll tell you that, so you don't go start your plastering company.
No, don't be silly.
100%, man.
No, I've worked with them as in I know how much they charge jobs and that.
I think that's more so control of the industry more than. No one's going to go to you, yeah, mate, fucking easy. Like you can charge 800 quid a day, and your mate Harrison used to do that.
Yeah.
Just giving it all. Oh, you can do this, you can do that.
Doing what?
Like bigging it up.
Oh, as in money wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it was roughly like if you took an average, I think it was about £200 a day.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was on like Mega Money, or told you he was on Mega Money.
No, he didn't. He wouldn't have told me he's on Mega Money, and I wouldn't have told you he was on Mega Money. But no, like as far as I was aware.
Do you reckon he watches the podcast?
Good luck to him if he is. Hopefully he's on. He does.
Put in the comments.
He does Venetian now, so he's probably on a lot more.
Oh, okay.
He does the real ornate stuff. But no, as far as I was aware, it's just a. It's not
like,
a flat.
How do plasterers pay their staff if it's £200 a day because it's a skill?
Yeah, but see,
as a skilled labour, I'd expect to pay someone probably 200 quid a day labour.
No, mate, skilled labour is £200 a day. It's £200 a day is 50
yeah, so
quid
how
a year.
what are you charging the customer? How are you making money as a business? Like if you've got 3 staff members, plastering staff members,
okay,
how do you make money?
Well, then just put 10% on them and just nick the 10% off that, and you've earned 200 quid yourself.
Yeah, but 10% is not enough to make a business run.
Yeah, but then, like, if they're self-employed and bits and pieces like that, like, if I had a job and I needed someone in, I'm not going to turn and go...
No, I'm not talking about subcontracting. I'm talking about if you're a plastering company and you got big enough and you had 3 people working, like, your branded T-shirts on, they were your staff. So either you took all 4 of you go to the same job and knock it out in a day, but you still got to pay them a day wage. So, say you had 4 rooms to do, I don't know if that's realistic.
It doesn't lend itself. I think this industry doesn't lend itself to hiring people. It lends itself to self-employed.
You know people that have multiple staff members. I know people in this industry multiple staff members, so it's doable.
Yeah, it's doable, but I don't know how they can scale it up to like 6 or 7. And
because they're charging more than 200 quid a day.
Yeah.
And they're making...
but if you've
they'll go round of an evening with an iPad and they'll you know, with a nice shirt on, and they'll talk to the customer and they'll have a cup of tea with them and they'll go, right, this is what you need. Oh, no, you don't want that because this reason. Oh, thanks, I never knew that. That's a good point. You must know what you're talking about. Yeah, we do. We've been doing it a long time.
No, I think that's bollocks because you're not going around enough houses of an evening to keep 7 geezers employed plastering. That's not, unless you're going to 7 different jobs and closing 100% of them every night.
These jobs are going to be like, there'll be like 12 new build estates or whatever, wouldn't they? When you get to
you're talking about going around someone's house and having a look at it.
It'll be the developer.
Oh, you're talking about developments.
Well, it could be.
Well, that makes
it could be a commercial.
Once you start going to that, like I think there's like you have to get away from residential and go into commercial. Like I personally.
Is it still 200 quid a day?
Yeah, it's a stand. Yeah, it's like in fact, I think it'd actually go down for the worker.
If anyone knows plaster, or you know, we would love to hear your comments on it because I disagree and I think. Business is business, doesn't matter what industry you're in. You can charge higher amounts. I think anyone who's been doing plastering 30 years and still charging the same as they were doing before is just a mug.
Yeah, but don't forget,
it's also... prices every year.
Don't forget, it's also very competitive as well.
everything's competitive. I just don't think that's an excuse.
No, I'm not saying it's an excuse.
I'm not arguing with you. You're not a plasterer. We're just having
a
debate.
No. I know what you mean. But
I just don't think it's an excuse that everything's competitive.
Yeah, everything.
I know at least 6 handymen within probably a mile of where we are now. But you didn't go, well, I'm not going to do it because it's too competitive.
Yeah, of course.
And you didn't go, I better charge fuck all for a call out because...
Yeah, I see what you mean. I know exactly what you're saying, but I just think I think we're probably looking at it from 2 different heads as well. We're looking at it from like the actual worker on the tools, and then we're looking at the geezer running the site sort of thing, as in like
I think we're just looking at it from 2 ends of the experience spectrum.
It would be interesting to know though, like what the industry standard is to earn off of one worker.
I would have had the same outlook as you 5 years ago.
Yeah,
100%, and it just wouldn't compute in my brain. But having then managed 30 staff members and gone the other side of it,
it's made sense to me.
And I've seen how you scale that. I see it from the other side, and that's why curbside has always been about image. And people, like you say it to me all the time, why are you doing that? Why are you spending extra money to brand that? It's just a waste of money. But in my head, it's not, because I want to look better than you. Or the next person.
The next person, yeah, of course.
Like when I get my van redone,
it's going to look dynamite.
I guarantee you I'll get a job off the back of that.
Yeah.
Someone will stop me, even if I don't get a job, someone will stop me and go, mate, that fucking van looks the bollocks.
Yeah.
And I'll say, yeah, I know, because I'm better than everyone else. I'm the best. You know what I mean? People will see that van and they'll inquire because they think I'm the nuts because...
It's branding,
I've got enough money to do that.
Yeah, it makes
they're already
sense.
going to expect a slightly higher quote because of the image.
And it comes with the territory as well.
I'm not saying I would take advantage of that, but if I put in my quote and they go, I was expecting it to be a lot higher, you've almost guaranteed the close because you've put the effort in to make yourself look...
Dynamite.
Yeah.
No, it makes total sense.
And it's the same in any industry, I think. Like, you're going to get fluctuation in price in any industry. All of them. You think about it, there's no...
No, you do. But I've just known that, well, what I've understood is in order to scale businesses like ours, is volume of people, as opposed to, like, different work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
As in quality of work, you can't scale it like that.
Let me put into... So... I can't remember where you were, but you couldn't do it with me. I'd done that job in Brentwood with Blanco.
Recently?
No, one a little while ago.
One before, I think I remember.
Soffits and fascias, gutters.
That's it,
on the blocks of flats.
Yeah.
That was a $4,500 job, done in a day.
Yeah.
So that's not people. I could have done that on my own over 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, no, we were there 2 days, over, say, 3 days. That's quality of work to scale.
No, that's volume. It's not quality of work.
It's not the amount of people, is it?
Yeah, it is, because you're Blanco.
Yeah, but I didn't need him.
Okay, but
I could have done 2 of those a week.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I know what you're saying, but all you didn't do a better job than what you already do. You just done more square footage of what you normally do.
Yeah, but it's the quality of the work that comes in.
No, you're talking about quality of leads.
Yeah.
No, it's completely different.
How's that different?
Like, I'm not going to lie, you've come at me with a very good example, and it's hard for me to argue that example. But no. But what I'm saying is, it's not that you sit down and go, you can scale now to the next best thing, and you can go, right, this is called gutter hoovering, yeah? We don't do that anymore, we do diamond package, right? And we're going to get up there and, like, we're going to scrub it with this brush and that, but this is £100 a side, as opposed to £30 a side, right? And scaling up, effectively, that's scaling up to quality. The only way really to do it in our industries is, you can go to the next best thing, but like plastering, example, you can only get a wall so smooth. Or painting and decorating, you can only not drip any paint so much.
Yeah, I think in that circumstance, you'd have to stop doing the smaller stuff.
Right, so in order then to scale up, it's more, instead of going up, you have to go out with people, instead of going up with quality.
No, you could stop doing the smaller stuff.
Right.
So you'd only do the larger jobs.
Okay.
So you still do it on your own.
But then when would the sky be the limit? Because if I wanted to earn £1,000 a day,
charge £1,000 a day.
Yeah, but is Brenda from number 44 going to pay me £1,000 a day?
Brenda's not your clientele.
Yeah, okay, but then who is then? It's the Barclays Bank.
That's your job as a business owner to work out.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
So if you want to charge £1,000 a day, you need to start targeting Emerson Park or Chelsea or Kensington.
Yeah.
And you need to switch up who you're marketing to.
Yeah.
That's if you want to stay that way, like you say, or you can choose to take someone on and double down on the smaller jobs.
Yeah, that's how I understood it anyway.
Well,
that's what I think.
It works both ways.
Yes.
But I think about security in business. So if you get ill, you're earning nothing a day. Whereas if you've got someone out with you, you could potentially still nick some money, send them out on their own, and say, look, I'm not well. You're going to have to just crack on your own, do what you can do. And hopefully I'm better tomorrow, sort of thing, and you still get some work done. Yeah. Because you're paying them anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're working on your own, you're directly losing. Over, you can earn 365 grand a year if you want to earn £1,000 a day, but for every day you have off, you lose £1,000. Mm-hmm. So if you have weekends off, it's £2,000 a week you've lost. If you're ill for a week, you've lost £7,000. If you go on holiday, you lose £14,000. You know, there's no security there. If you fall off a ladder and break your leg and you need 3 months off,
yeah, you're bang in trouble, isn't you?
Yeah. So you can scale up. I think about it regularly because I've got quite a nice business and it makes me look quite a nice amount of money, but there's no security. But I think, well, if I could do what I'm doing this month, every month, if I had a week off, I'd be alright.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it was planned and everything.
Yeah, I think there's that's the only one thing that I hate about this industry, and I hate it with a passion, and that's why I invest as much as I do where I do it, because I just think I hate the fact that it's like I said to you the other day. Like I hate the fact that my next phone bill and gym membership and petrol money is coming from a phone call that I haven't received yet.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that's
scary, isn't it?
Like when you actually break it down like that, mate, it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
That's why you find a lot of people don't want to let go of their jobs.
Yeah, mate, I totally get it. Like sometimes you're there and it's like, but then like I had a bit of a meltdown the other day, and I spoke to the other half, and I just said like, mate, it just makes you think like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? And then she said, no, don't be silly. And ever since then, it really picked up, and I've been busy.
You were in a fortunate position when you started, though, weren't you? Like you went full time straight away because you didn't have.
I didn't have a job to leave, yeah.
Well, you'd already left it, hadn't you? You'd already quit.
Yeah.
And you've got your flat that gives you a bit of security.
Yeah.
As a backup. But I speak to a lot of people that work full time and they're trying to start a business, like external cleaning business in people I talk to on the side, and build it up to a point where they can quit their job.
Yeah, I don't think you.
And I say to all of them, you're never going to be able to build it up to a point where you're earning full-time money whilst having a full-time job.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
You've got to put in if you want full-time money, you've got to put in full-time effort. That's what I always say to people. And like for you, I think it worked very well. I mean, you had the best mentor.
Yeah, no, it ticked over really well. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, it ticked over really well, to be honest with you. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad
you've done it.
Like my industry as well is not going to be. I don't think I could go out and nick something like what you've done, like that day with Blanco, like $3,500 or $4,500 or something like that, because I don't really offer them sort of services. But I might do, because in terms of gutter clearing and pressure washing and things like that, but on square footage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's nice. I've got call outs, and I've got a book of about 8 of them, and where I have big jobs as well. And then if I can fit them in, I might do 2 in an evening. Yeah, but it's nice. It's just little call out fee, and it just ticks me over lovely.
It's like a lifestyle business more so than at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not. This is not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I always think it'd be nice to build up the business to have a couple of staff members run it and nick $20,000 a year, but not have to do anything.
Yeah, completely hands off.
Like it runs like completely on its own. But I think that's.
I think though, like us talking about the next step for the man that wants to build up enough business. So imagine we're having a conversation with someone sat in that chair, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but effectively we're in that chair talking about hiring someone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like it's someone who's already hired someone. Like, geez, you can do it now, and we're like, no, we can't.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
See what I mean?
With my last business, there was the scariest thing. I didn't want to take someone on And Kurt was like, no, we're going to get a second booth, we're going to get a second van, we're going to send someone out. Well, it would be a third in this case because there was 2 of us. And I was like, no, I don't think we should do it. And then you get past the first one, and then we went from 1 to like 4 full-time staff members and 30 part-time staff members in less than 12 months.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Because once you've done it once, it's like...
I think that scale is like... I was talking to a geezer, listen to this, I was talking to a geezer in IT the weekend, and we went out for a few bevies and all that in Cambridge. We went to go to a museum and we missed it by about an hour, so we went to Nando's and then got slaughtered, as you do. Anyway, and I was talking to him about IT, and he's in software and all the rest of it, and he said to me, the scalability, I said to him, of your business is colossal, and he went, yeah. He says, like, you can speak to, like, he's not trying to be flash when he was telling me, but I can speak to a hairdresser, and he says, and he might have a good year on 40 grand a year, say. He went, I can do that in a month on my own with a laptop, and I'm not cutting anyone's head, and I'm not looking for the phone to ring or people to walk in and all the rest of it. And he said the scalability of like working from a laptop is actually really hard to actually comprehend.
There was a guy on James Sinclair's podcast called Daniel Priestley, and if anyone likes podcasts about business, watch it. It was a really good interview. So his whole life is software businesses, but he was saying, right, he got funding to set up this idea he had as an app. It cost 500 grand to set it up.
Mate, that is enormous.
But he said software. Like once you've spent the 500 grand and the software exists, you can just print money after that because you only have to do that once. That's your setup cost.
Is there not licenses or nothing you have to like renew every year?
No. He owns the software. It's his. So then he was selling it to companies at 10 grand a pop.
Oh,
They were doing really well, done like 2 million quid in the first year. And he said, like, this isn't really working. He weren't happy with it. So they said, instead of selling it for 10 grand a pop, we're going to sell it to you for $50 a month. He said they scaled to like 10 million quid a year. And now he said they have someone new signs up every 15 minutes.
There you go.
Even now. And he'll make about 150 grand a month.
Just on that.
In new revenue. Yeah. What's I can't remember.
I see IT
software.
is software and IT. It's like no joke. It's actually hard to comprehend.
It's hard. It's high barrier to entry though. So like not everyone's got 500 grand.
Well, you can offer out, can't you, for investors and bits and pieces like that. But I'll be honest with you,
you've got to really believe in your product because you're on the hook for that 500 grand if it don't work.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, this guy had previous businesses. He could have paid for it himself, but he said his basic outlook on investment was if you find. So he wanted 12 angel investors to invest like 12 grand each.
12 angel investors.
Yeah, so they're people that put money in that don't have any say in it.
Is that what they're calling them now? I thought they were sleeping partners.
No, they've always been called angel investors. He'll want 12. Well, he'll want as many as he can get to raise the money he needs, because if he can convince 12 really smart people to invest in an idea, he knows it's a good idea.
Yeah, I see his logic. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the way he looks at it. But and there's one thing about, I know we've discussed it before, and I don't know why this has just come onto it, but debt in businesses, getting loans and stuff. Like some people are really against it, but every person with a bit of money that I see on a podcast or it always gets brought up, they are all really happy to take a loan or get debt for their business. Not personally. None of them like the idea of getting like a car and finance, but they'll happily borrow £500 million to buy a building.
Yeah, in terms of business-wise. Yeah, but don't forget, it'll be borrowed through the business.
Yeah.
The liability is not on them.
No, the liability is on them as a director of a business. Most of them, you need to have personal guarantor.
What? So the owner of that thingy will have to personally guarantor that loan for £500 million?
In most cases, yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
For anything over 10 or 20 grand.
I suppose in some businesses is a good thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're rolling over, like what you said, if you're rolling over at a loss and then you have to work that loss off, you could have a colossal year, couldn't you? And you're going to pay no tax.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
So it works out in that favour. So it does kind of make sense. But it's to make an omelette, you've definitely got to break eggs. And it's interesting people's take on it as well. Do you know what I mean? Because don't forget, we're only swimming in our pond. Yeah, but like as soon as you go up a couple of ponds, the world's completely different.
I think really the basis of it is the same though. It's just the decisions people are making. Like when you really break it down, if you got a $5,000 loan out to buy a load of equipment over 5 years, you're paying about 150 quid a month.
Right.
How much money can that $5,000 of equipment make you? It's a no-brainer.
Ultimately, probably it can like between 50 and 100 grand a year.
If not more, depending on what industry and what you do.
I think in terms when people say about, I've said it before in this podcast, when people say about I've got $5,000, what should I invest in? Or like I've got $2,500, what should I invest in? It's like, mate, go and get some lawnmower equipment. I just think it's like, mate, you can invest in yourself and nick money.
Yeah, a lot of these big business owners would rather invest in money into a business than like an investment like stocks and shares or building or something. They say the return on investment when you can invest in your own business is so much higher. All
right, put it this way, So let's put a completely different spin on it, right? Let's take a 1-bedroom apartment in Basel, 150 grand, easy maths, yeah? 150 grand. If you bought it and owned it outright, it's probably going to generate you £800 a month, yeah? So let's be liberal, let's say £900 a month, right?
Yeah.
If I gave you 150 grand cash and you had no business, roughly, could I start up curbside with 150 grand?
4 times over, yeah.
So I could have effectively maybe 3 curbsides ranging from here to Birmingham, say, yeah? And and all it's got to bring me in is £800 a month and it's been matched.
Yeah.
Like when you actually break it down like that, like 100, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So when I was like, I know it's going to sound silly, but I done quite well out of crypto a couple of years ago, right? And when I looked at it, like, because I remember being at the train station, I was looking at it thinking, what do you do with this sort of thing? Like, what do you do with this sort of money? And I remember looking at it thinking, I could pay someone's salary 25 grand a year for 4 years. I remember sitting there thinking that. And then when I actually put that spin on it completely, it blew my mind. I thought, instead of talking about, let's put a deposit down or buy this, when I looked at it as like actual man hours, I thought, this is fucking
it's
crazy.
Huge, isn't it?
It's huge. Mate, I could have someone's time, 9 to 5, 5 days a week for 4 years, and I just give them these digits.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing.
I know I keep talking about James Sinclair, but he talks about a lot of these subjects.
Do you get sponsored by him?
I wish if he watches this.
James, throw him a pound every time he mentions your name.
I'll go on his podcast, mate. I love it. But he says, when you hire someone new, just get their wages for 90 days. And if they're not generating you their own wage after 90 days, get rid of them.
That's very interesting.
90 days, so 3 months. So you get 3 months' salary, put to one side, invest that into a staff member. Within those 3 months, you've got to train them how you want them to work, how you want them to, operate in the business, whether it be whatever role they're doing, whether it's sales or hands-on or whatever. You need to get them out earning their own wage, obviously plus more their own wage really, within 3 months. And then within 12 months, they're going to be making you money.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's the best use of, say, 6 grand or 9 grand, whatever it is you're paying them, that you can spend. And after 90 days, they're not making the money, you get rid of them. As far as I say, it's not for you, it's not for me, it's not working. We're going to call it a day.
Yeah.
It's a 90-day trial period, basically. No hard feelings, You've got to bounce high. Then you start again. Get your 9 grand together, find someone new. If you're fortunate enough to have that money sitting there, then you can get someone in straight away. But if you're not, then...
Interesting, isn't it? It's interesting people's takes on it. Like I watched the geezer yesterday talk about restaurants. Fucking mind-blowing. To put a different spin on it. Do you want me to tell you quickly?
Go on.
To put a different spin on it, he said he was talking to one of them geezers, like Grant Cardone sort of fella in America, and he says, I'll tell you how to start a restaurant in 4 steps or something. He says, step 1, he says, people come to your restaurant, he went, the percentage of them to revisit or something is something like 40%. He went, on the second visit, for them to revisit is something like 41%, and it goes up to 43%, but on the 4th visit, the likelihood of them returning is something like 75%.
So because they already love it.
Yeah, because they already love it. Yeah, it's like 75 or 80%. It's very, very high. So he says you need to get past 4 days. So 4 visits. After that, they're yours. Yeah, that's it, locked in. So he says the first time they come, you make a fancy of them, make a thing of them. I tell you what I do. I'm going to treat you both to a chicken dinner. Yeah, and you put a red tablecloth out, so that means for day 1. Then when you say, oh, how was your dinner? Oh, it was amazing, thanks. Are you sure it's free? Yeah, I'm sure it's free. Oh, you had the beef? Yeah. Or you had the chicken. Next time you've got to try the beef. Yeah, look, I'm going to give you $10 off or £10 off right on the back of his card and give it over. So you're going to try and bring them in. Then when they come over, it's like, do you guys want dessert? No. Well, next time I have the souffle, I'm going to give you a slice of cheesecake each or something like that. So it's like every time you're enticing them, on the 4th visit, they're yours.
Yeah.
And I just thought, what an and he went like, if you add it up, you give them a free chicken dinner, say, and then £10 off a steak and then a cheesecake. And when you break it down like that, like you've got them.
I think you've touched on a very good point there as well, which is another thing a lot of people I speak to aren't willing to do. Yeah. And that's give something away.
Yeah. Well, like your pressure washer and that and drills.
Yeah, just mate, I fucking left the door of the unit open for 24 hours. I come down here yesterday. I come down here again today, this afternoon. Fucking doors wide open.
You do actually give away a lot.
I do a lot of free work.
You do. You gave a ladder away to a job once and a squeegee to a school.
No, you gave a fucking squeegee to a school. But doing free work or doing something for free or offering like a free something. I've got a very good plan, which I'm not going to talk about on the podcast because I don't want anyone to steal it.
Secret.
I'll get it really locked in. But doing something for free, and I see a post on, I think it's put a window cleaning forum or something on Facebook, and it was another window cleaning leaflet, and they'd posted it to a new build estate, so everyone had got one. We'll do your first 3 cleans for free.
That's brilliant.
Which I thought was a little bit excessive. But 3 free cleans. After 3 cleans, you're going to know the person. You're going to have multiple
hopefully you've met him a few times. Hello, mate. You're
or
right.
at least spoke to him via text or something for payment, not for payment, but we came today, we visited. I hope everything was all right. Let us know if there's any issues. You're going to have spoke to him a couple of times, and then after the 3rd one. How many of those customers are just going to say, oh, we'll have you? Yeah, brilliant.
Totally.
Yeah, you've done a really good job for 3 months. We're happy with your price.
You will get, I'm not going to lie, you will get the arseholes that bin you.
Even if you get 40% of them.
Mate,
how many people are going to take you up on 3 free cleans?
Everyone.
Well, everyone that hasn't already got a window cleaner, yeah.
Yeah.
So some of them will, have bought a new build and, already had a house that they bought their window cleaner over to, but everyone who doesn't, is going to go, well, it's free for 3 months.
Yeah, totally.
I guess you get a few people that go, it seems too good to be true, we're not going to bother. But
it's clever, like the little, in a way, they're gimmicks, aren't they?
Yeah, that's more marketing is.
Yeah,
100%.
It's clever little gimmicks like that can just get you to win. Right, come on, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, go on. We're next week
is Expo.
We've got so there'll be an episode dropping Expo week.
Right, okay.
So there'll be another episode before we'll record another episode for the Expo, but it'll be landing whilst we're at the Expo.
Yes.
Or whilst we're on the way there. But we are very excited. Bring your A game.
Bring your A game. Bring your A game.
We're going to be bringing our A+ game. So.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I can't wait for it.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
It's definitely it's more your bag than my bag because I don't know what. It's a cleaning expo, yeah.
Yeah, but it's my industry, innit?
Yeah, of course.
If there's like a handyman industry or like a, don't know.
Go on. I know.
Labourers industry.
Yeah, I know there's a joke.
Like I was going to say builders industry, but then you don't really do building either. But
yeah, it'll just be like.
I don't know. Handyman industry just isn't really a thing, is it?
Maintenance, isn't it? Maintenance industry.
Tools industry, or so like a tool expo.
Yeah, it's fun.
Seeing
all your machines and that and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good fun. But yeah,
Dan's on Instagram now. So if you haven't already found him, search MKM Maintenance
property
on
maintenance.
Instagram and follow him. And hopefully you can start building up a bit of a...
Yeah.
Could be a voice in that industry.
Yeah, I've got a few followers already, yeah. Amongst all the labourers, yeah. All the translation. All right, listen, enjoy everyone.
Yeah, have a good one, have a good week, and stay cleaning.